All right, so the reason you clicked on this video is to learn how to do product drops, restocks, new collection, etc. All these kinds of events, you can kind of follow the same strategy. And I'm going to show you how, using my strategy, we reached $48,000 on this store in just one day, right? You can see like May 4th, it was like 3 days ago at the time recording this at 3 a.m. my time. And I'm going to refresh the screen so you know all these information are like real accurate. Like here's me hovering over it. You can just do the math yourself. I'm going to scroll down here. And yeah, all of these results, not all of that come from email and SMS obviously, but let me actually show you the email account. As you can see, like results are actually genuinely coming from email and SMS. At the time of recording this, 30% of the revenue of this account comes from email and SMS, and obviously a bit more at the time of this drop, right? So $6,000, $4,000, $2,000, $5,000, $8,000, like all of these results, I'm going to show you how you can drive them through email and SMS, right? So this is the plan for today. Very dense, and I'm going to cram many years of experience into this one video, so I'm not exactly sure how long it's going to take. Maybe 1 hour, maybe 2 hours, maybe 3. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not going to drag it, but obviously I'm trying to just give you value here. So it's going to be so valuable, like genuine. I would have paid thousands of dollars for that information. Just for the context, like it genuinely makes sales, and that strategy works for all of the stores I'm implementing it on, right? So yeah, definitely subscribe, hit the like button, because very valuable video incoming. So the first thing is going to be creating a job specific email and SMS list. You want to create as much hype as possible, grow the list a lot, just because the more subscribers you have typically, and we can talk about subscribers quality, etc. later, but as the general rule of thumb, the more subscribers you have, the more your job is going to perform from a revenue standpoint, right? The more revenue you're going to make. So the first thing I'm going to show you is how you can rapidly grow your email and SMS list, right? So this is point number one. And we're going to do it two ways. Number one, some of the people watching this video are obviously doing email marketing already. So I'm going to show you how you can use your email marketing to grow an SMS list, and also how you can use your social media and ads to grow both an email and SMS list for the job that we're going to just drop, right? So using your email list, you're going to push them to a landing page like this with an offer. So for drops, what works really well is promoting early access. So you tell people to give you their phone number in exchange for early access to the new product. That works really well. You can also give them a discount. You can give them like a free gift with the purchase of the new job. Many offers work really well, but the main gist is like you need to have an offer and a way to either way to collect the phone number, right? So that's the first way. Then the second way is using social media. This is definitely my favorite. Not doing too much like lead generation ads, but yeah, social media we use quite a lot. And yeah, basically the same way. Just this time you add an email field because you want to have both the email and phone number for the job. And you're going to push them to a thank you page. We're going to talk about that later. But yeah, this is the framework behind it all. Now I'm going to show you how you can actually put that into practice. Okay, so now to get started, you're going to need access to your Klaviyo account because this is where you're going to build the embedded form. And then you're also going to need access to Shopify because this is where we're actually going to host the page. So now when I'm in Shopify, I just need to go to online store and then theme and then click on customize right here. So now I just need to create the page. So page, template, and then wait list. Actually, let me just call it something different. Landing page, email drop. Here you go. So now create template. Here you go. And now I just need to delete everything because we want to have essentially like a blank starting point just so people have only one thing to do, which is like opt in. We only want them to opt in when they're on that page. We don't want any distraction. This is cool because I'm not sure we can delete it, but besides that, we only want them to subscribe. So let's not give them anything else to do. So this is the first thing. We now have the Shopify template. We now need a form to add right here. Everything is going to be built in Klaviyo. And so the way you do that is you go to sign up form, and then we're going to create one for desktop and one for mobile, because each one of this version of the page will look different depending on if you were building it for mobile users or for desktop users. And this one should also have two separate variants, one for mobile users, one for desktop users. So in total, you're going to have 4 versions of the form. I'm only going to build that one because this is the hardest one to build because there's like 2 fields. But then after that, you just need to duplicate the page, replicate the same setup, and then just delete the email field right here. So this is going to be very simple. And we need to create something like this to add on the Klaviyo form. So let me actually start with this version of the page right here for desktop users. This is the one we're going to create together right now. So create form. And here you go. We're going to start from scratch because I want to show you everything. Desktop users here, drop May 15th, right? Let's just put an imaginary date. Now choose a form tab. We want to choose an embedded form, but before we do that, we actually need to create a list to send people to. So here we go. You're going to go to list and segments and then create new, create list, and then wait list. May 15th, right? Here we go. Create list. And then right now we are going to go back to sign up form, create a blank form, and then let's create it this time properly, right? Desktop drop May 15th. And we're going to do email and SMS. So email and SMS lender drop. I actually think this is a better name. All right, cool. Now choose the form type, embedded, and then list, wait list May 15th. This is perfect. And so save and design, we're going to get started right now. So now I want this style for desktop because I want the page to be like more horizontal as opposed to mobile. Like this is a good layout for mobile, right? Because the screen is vertical, etc. But for desktop, I actually want it to look slightly different. So let me just grab a product picture and I'm going to show you. So I'm going to download it from here. And then I'm going to go to compressor.io because I want the page to load like extremely fast. If it loads too slowly, it will tank the sign up right. So I'm going to go to compressor.io, compress the pic so it will load faster, and then I will add it to my form. So I'll just add it right here. Just drag the pic, and then here you go. This is already starting to look good. Now we're going to need a headline and then all of the steps of the form that we want. So let me actually just drag this one here and then put it in full width, just so it's starting to look better already, you see. And so here we need a headline, and we're actually going to replicate that one, right? We want it to look kind of similar to this one because the brand we're building the sign up form for is this one, retain with emails.store. This is just the demo store, right? But yeah, this is the style or the aesthetic or whatever you want to call it that we're going for. So I'm going to go here. And the way you create a headline like this is very simple. You add some text, so claim early access to glow strengths. This is just the name of the product, very random name. Here you go. Now, if you don't want to go for early access, maybe you can offer like 10, 15% off. You can really give any offer that people would value and that they would be really willing to exchange their email or phone number for. So anything works, really. I just think early access is great. I've had a ton of success with it. So let me actually remove that. And yeah, here we go. Now we need to change the color. This is the color of the brand. Or actually, let me just make sure I have a color picker extension. I'm just going to pick that one. Boom, copy. And then early access, I'm going to update the color of it right here. So this is looking clean. I like it. Now, we need something to put above the headline. So I'm just going to copy that one because I already wrote it, but you just need to figure out something that makes sense for you. Get ready for May 15th. And obviously that page, like it's a first variant. Like we're going to talk about the expected metric that you need to see, the KPI that you might want to hit. But really, this is the first version of the page. You just need to come up with like the V1, push traffic to it, and then improve from then on, right? Obviously, don't make like stupid marketing mistakes, like just putting no offer on that page, like making the form unnecessarily hard to complete. Like you don't want to make basic mistakes like that, but really you just want to go live as fast as possible and then improve from there. So I'm going to add like a few emojis because this is the aesthetic of the brand, right? If you look at the product page. So this is going to be the first one. Control. Here we go. Yeah, that's the one I want. And then duplicate to add it on the other side. Perfect. Let me remove that. So switch the order. All right, perfect. So now I'm just going to center them both. Maybe make this a little smaller. Adjust the sizing and the space between every element. Actually, that's not the one. Here we go. I think this looks good now. I'm just going to group them both, then export that and add that as a headline on our form. So 1x should be enough. This is like very big already. Actually, let me just make that slightly smaller. All right. Here we go. This is looking clean. 1x, and then I'm going to go to compressor.io and make that smaller, like the file size. Download it. Go back to the form now, and then add block, drag an image block here. Give it a second, just delete that. We don't want this headline anymore. And we're going to add our own headline that we just wrote. So drag and drop it, and then here, put it as like 400. We're going to check that on mobile, on desktop anyway. We're going to see the preview of the form. So headline. Or like teaser, new drop. Perfect. And then we also need to add the SMS field because we need to create like that version of the page that you want to use for like all your social medias and generally like this is the page that people who are not on your email list will be exposed to. So let's add a SMS field too. Add blog. Here you go. SMS input. Add it right here. Now I think the padding looks weird a little bit. So I'm just going to adjust that. Give it a second. Instead of 10, I'll just go for 5. I always go for 5. I think it looks good. 5, and then here 5 too. Let's scroll down. 5. And so now I'm just going to go back to the actual headline that I used, and I'm just going to make sure the aesthetic matches, right? So same color I use here. I'm picking this purple, and let's adjust the color of the button. Amazing. Now subscribe, the text here, the copy, I'm just definitely going to need to change it because people do not want to subscribe to something. You want to promote the offer that you have on your headline, not necessarily tell people that they're just subscribing for some random reason. And also because subscribe, you know, it's a bad look. Some people look at subscribing to a brand as like, all right, they're going to spam me now. But ideally you don't do that. You send great emails, but still people have that picture in their mind when they read that subscribe thing. So let's actually go live now because I think this is good enough to test. Publish. This headline I'm probably going to need to make it bigger, but still I'm just going to grab the code and then go back to Shopify and put that on our landing page. So add section, apps, right here. And the code is exactly the one I copied from Klaviyo. So here you go. It should appear in a second. Starting to look great already. So the headline definitely needs to be bigger. I don't know if I want to add some more space here, and then below the form I definitely want some padding. So let's adjust all of that. Here we go. Style. Actually, I might just do like a custom liquid block into Shopify. So let's just, because there are multiple ways to do things, right? But let me do like bottom, maybe 50. Okay, this is not it. Yeah, we're going to do it in Shopify. Right now, I'm just going to increase the size of the headline, maybe like 500. Actually, let's put 550. Here we go. Live, publish. And now let's just go to Shopify and try it out. So view. Yeah, all right. I'm going to need to adjust it. All right, save. To get the preview, I'm just going to need to do this, right? Let me go back, go to pages, and then add page. And then we're going to do wait list. Here you go. And then default page, I'm going to use, which one was it? Landing page email drop. I think that was the one. So save, and then I'm going to make it visible and then preview. That way we're going to have like an actual URL where the form is embedded. So this looks good. I definitely need some padding here though. So let's just add that. Let's do like 40. Let's try 40. Here we go. Same thing for all buttons and for all input fields. Just so it looks consistent, right? So live, and as soon as I'm going to make the updates here, it's going to reflect back into the page right here. So let's refresh. Here you go. Okay, so now I like how the page looks, but I don't like the padding up top, right? I don't like the fact that the logo is just so close to the form. So I'm going to go back to Shopify, and then I'm going to add like custom liquid blocks. And this is just going to allow me to add some more padding. So let me drag this one up top, so right below the logo. And right now it has like 40 pixel in like top padding and 52 in bottom padding. Let me actually just do both the same size, click on save, and see how it looks now. So let's wait until the saving's completed. But yeah, it should look better now. Let me actually just refresh it. Okay, the form disappeared. I need to go back into Klaviyo, copy the code. Yeah, sometimes it bugs like that. Anyway, should look good now. Save. All right, refresh. And then, all right, now too much padding here, not enough at the bottom. So let's adjust that. Another custom liquid block. Click on save. And now let's refresh the page. All right, too much up top, enough on the bottom. So let's just adjust that once again. This is just trial and error until you find something that looks good. Let's save it here. Otherwise, like the page looks really good. I'm happy with it. So yeah, this is looking clean. I kind of like that. I could maybe add some more padding on the bottom, but at this point, like I'm sure you get how to do that. This is good. It's working. Let's just test with an actual email, right? Like email. Maybe I'll add like phone number and then subscribe. I just need to change that text. Now for this thank you page, I'm going to talk about this later. This is just step one of the tutorial, and this page is like very important. So we're going to adjust it 100%. So the headline is claim early access to Glow strengths. I'm going to click on the button, and the copy, I'm just going to put it as like unlock early access. Early access. So here you go. Now we have the desktop form. Now we just need to create the mobile one. So let's just do it really quickly. And before we do that, actually, I'm not sure I did it already, but the targeting and the display, you need to put that as desktop only. That way it's only going to show up for desktop users on the Shopify template. So now if I go on my phone, it's just not going to show that landing page at all or that embedded form. And so let me go to Klaviyo. And then I'm going to duplicate that one, clone. And then this time, this is a mobile one we're creating. Mobile. Here we go. Perfect. Continue. This is the one. And similar things. Really, like we're going to create the mobile form and then embed it into the Shopify page, like right underneath the one we already created. So style this time is going to be like more of a vertical layout, because for mobile users, like the way their screen is set up right here, this is like the mobile frame. The way their screen is set up is like more vertical. So you definitely can't use a form like this one right here. So let's just do that. Style. Yeah, you already picked the style. I just want to block. So right here. Perfect. And so now the image that you need to drag, I think it was this one, but I'm not sure. Let's just do this. Select image and then this one. Perfect. So now the size of the image, I typically like to go for 200 because for mobile it's very easy. Let's just do this, for example. I want to explain like how you come up with that 200. Let's use Gymshark, for example. This is the dimension of a mobile screen, like iPhone 14, iPhone SE. The SE is like very small, but typically phone sizes or like mobile screens or like 400 pixels in width. And so if you pick 200, that's basically this size right here. Because if you put two images side by side and the mobile screen is like 400, if you have enough room to fit both, or like fit two images back to back or side to side, then you have 400 divided by 2, that's 200. And so that's the kind of image or image size that we need to go for. So add text like product for drop. Obviously don't call it that. You can just use like glow strengths. Let's do this, glow strength. Here we go. And so now it should look good. So again, you're not going to be able to see it. I'm going to be able to see the page from my mobile because it's not going to show up on desktop once I hit this mobile only thing. So now it actually only shows on mobile, and I'm going to embed it into Shopify too. So let me do this really quickly. Add section, app, Shopify, or like Klaviyo, and then embed the form. Now, once I hit save, it should show up. I'm just going to check really quickly on my phone that it did. Okay, I'm back. The mic, for some reason, stopped recording sound, so I need to record that part all over again. And one thing I noticed while I was looking at the page on my phone is, actually, let me show you. I'll go into private navigation so you can see it. And when you load the page, the standard pop-up that we have on the website shows up. And I edited the triggers so it shows up faster. Let's see. Should show up anytime soon. All right, here you go. You don't want that to happen. When you redirect people to a landing page like this, you want them to give you their email and phone number, and you don't want them to get distracted by a completely different offer that you don't want them to sign up for, right? You want them to sign up to this embedded form, not this pop-up right now. So we need to exclude this pop-up from showing up on that page. Let's actually go to Klaviyo and take care of that right now. So our URL is store/pages/waitlist. So let's just go to the mobile form that we currently have on site on the general store, and then go to targeting and behavior, then targeting. And then right now we're excluding the form on these two pages. We're going to add another one, which is waitlist, like this, right? This is the, let me go back, retain with emails.store/pages/waitlist. This is this page right here. Now for all URL containing waitlist, meaning this one too, the page is not, the pop-up, sorry, is just not going to show up. So let's just do that and hit save, live, publish anyway. And now we should be good, right? I'm not going to test it because I know for sure, but yeah, it just completed the mission. So yeah, now let's just talk about this real quick, right? I already went over it, so I'm going to have to do it again. Anyway, rapidly growing your list. To do that, you're just going to need to build that landing page. And we already talked about like building different version for mobile, for desktop, etc. But really, later, we're going to talk about what type of content you need to push in the email, on the email side, to motivate people to sign up on these landing pages that we just built, and also what targeting that you need to use too. But yeah, the goal of these pages is to collect as many high quality subscribers as possible. And this directly leads me to the KPI that you are aiming for. And really, it doesn't matter what KPI you hit, because let me put this client, for example. This is the store that we hit a 48K day on that I showed you earlier. This is actually one of my worst landing page sign up rate ever, like submit rate, but still the job performed really well. And this is because of the decision I'm going to share with you right now. So this is actually the first test that I ran on this client's form. And as you can see, the sign up rate or the submit rate is like pretty similar, but the performances in reality are drastically different. And so here you go. This is the first one. We collected 839 emails. On the second one, 651 emails, 429 phone numbers. So as you can see, like on this version, 65% of people gave us their phone numbers versus 84% here. And this matters so much on drop day. You want to have as many phone numbers as possible, just because SMS marketing is going to be so wildly profitable. I showed you one of the SMS we sent for this client, like it actually ripped. And so if we collected less phone numbers, it would have actually costed us like genuinely thousands of dollars. And so you definitely need to check out check metrics like that way beyond submit rate, because submit rate is not going to tell you anything pretty much. And then we ran another test. Let me actually just show you exactly what the test was, because I think it's going to matter so much. Like, as you can see, yeah, I already recorded this portion of the video. I'm pissed, but yeah, I'm going to go over it again. Anyway, on one version of the form, we asked people, like, they looked exactly the same, right? This was version 1, this was version 2. The only difference was on the email field, when people gave us their email, let me input my email, for example, at gmail.com, right? If people clicked on secure early access right now without inputting their phone number, we would let them through. We'd be like, all right, cool, you got early access. We'll let you know when we drop. We'll let you know first. Don't worry. That was the first version of the form. Now on the second version, if they did the exact same, inputted their email right here like this, and then they clicked on secure early access, we would not give them early access. We would tell them, no, we need your phone number, otherwise you just don't get early access. We didn't say it like that. We said, to complete this form, it requires phone number. But still, people could not complete the form without giving us their phone number. Now, the submit rate dipped by like, I believe 10 to 15%, something like that. And people would be like, all right, no, we can't risk that. This is too much of a dip. I do not agree at all. And you can see, like, I'm correct. Like, if you watched the video of me going in depth on that specific client, you saw that this was the correct decision. But yeah, sometimes you need to make these kinds of trade. You need to lower your sign-up rate to make sure you get a high quality subscribers. And in this specific instance, phone numbers were so valuable, we definitely needed them. And so tanking the submit rate by like 10 to 15%, I don't really care. I just want the job to perform really well and to make a ton of revenue. So yeah, this is what I did. That's for the KPIs. We already did that, excluding your regular pop-up from showing up on that lander. We did that. Split test for max amount of SMS subscribers. I believe I covered that pretty well. And yeah, I showed you these metrics. So yeah, we're actually done with that section of the video. So now let's move on to getting approved for SMS, because this is really important. Let me check that this is recording. Yes, it is. So yeah, getting approved for SMS. We need to take care of that, because obviously, what I mean by getting approved is having the ability within Klaviyo to send your text messages from there, right? They'll give you a toll-free numbers, and from there, you will be able to text message your SMS subscribers. Okay, let's get you approved for SMS, because it doesn't matter how many SMS subscribers you get. If you cannot SMS them or cannot text them, it won't matter. So you just need to click on your brand logo right here when you're in Klaviyo, or your brand name rather. And then you go to settings and then SMS, and then set up SMS for free. This is like a brand new account, so I'll just do it with you. United States, Canada. You select all the countries that you want to send SMS to. I'm just not going to do Australia and New Zealand because they're more complex, but besides that, you just click on every single country. And the setup should take you less than 24 hours, but it's very important that you take care of it ASAP, because for some brands, there are some exception, and it will just take you way longer. So then you just type your name, email, phone number, then your street should be like auto-filled out. Click on next. It will load for a second, and then Klaviyo, well, it's not Klaviyo technically verifying and giving you the phone number, but like they'll come back to you with a verified number. Okay, so now here you just need to input your branded sender ID. This one should be like very similar to your brand name. Retain with email. I believe this is going to be too long, so I'm going to do like maybe RWE US. And then here, this is just going to be your company name. This is going to be the thing people see when you store your SMS marketing message. I believe you should make it as short as possible, because this counts toward the character limit. And the more, like the lengthier your SMS message is, the more expensive it is. So just try and make it short. Retain with emails. All right, cool. Then I'm going to click on next, and we should be good. They're going to verify the numbers. So yeah, just click on next. And then all set, you've unlocked the SMS setup guide. United Kingdom's active, every other country is active. The most important are by far the United States and yeah, Canada, United Kingdom. Yeah, these ones are all super important. Now, if you only send to one country and it's Ireland, for example, you're already good to send SMS. So yeah, now we're done with that section. I showed you how to do it, and why it is important to do right now is because sometimes for some brands, again, it will take you like slightly longer than 24 hours, maybe like 5 days or something like that in some extreme cases. And if you wait until drop day to do it, then you're going to miss out on a ton of revenue. Okay, so now let's talk about what type of content you need to send to people, to your email list, before the product actually goes live. And a lot of people do not understand that single concept, and it's why their drop fail, right? They wait until the product actually goes live to try and sell it to people. That's not how you should do it. In my experience, what works best is convincing people to buy before the drop. So shooting your best bullets, all of your content. I'm even going to show you an example. This is from a brand called Aura. They're selling like health rings. So a ring that you put on your finger, it tracks your health and just your health metric, right? Heart rate, like how much you sleep quality, etc. So I'll show you the trailer real quick. We're just gonna go over it. I'm just gonna mute it. But if I zoom, or like rather speed up the video, let me actually put it in 2x, you're gonna see like all the details about the ring. It has like all of the unique selling proposition of the ring. I'm even gonna show you another trailer that is kind of similar that they did for another ring. But the best features of the ring, or in this trailer, you have all of the different type of colors they're offering for this ring. Yeah, it's like very high quality stuff, and the video has like millions of views, so they pushed a lot of traffic to it. See, it shows you that the ring tracks the health metric, which metrics it tracks specifically, and then they probably have like some blog article that they're sending their email traffic to too. So yeah, this was just an example for the brand Aura, but even in general, like if people need to see your product in action before they buy, and I'm even going to show you, like this is an example, right? This is a butterfly knife, and let me show you a video versus the picture so you understand exactly what I mean, right? This is the knife in action. Like this is what you use the knife for. You do cool tricks with it. If people see the video, it is 10 times powerful as a sales argument than just showing them a picture and writing some copy. A lot of people will say, all right, direct response copy is great. It's like, and I completely agree. It did wonders for my marketing performances. But truthfully, if you sell a product like this, a video is 10 times better than just the emails itself, right? So you need to continuously use your email list and use your email traffic, and the fact that it's so cheap to reach people there to push people towards assets like that. So yeah, that was just this point right here. Now let's talk about the next one. Besides the emails themselves that you can send to people to get them to videos like this, another thing is using the thank you page or the confirmation page, depending on how you call it. So here's what I mean by the thank you page, right? So this is the form that we built prior. And after people click on the submit button, instead of showing them a very generic message, if you were Aura, for example, the brand that we just went over, you would just grab the video link right here and just go to Shopify and embed the video straight in here with like a headline that just motivates them to actually consume the content. So this is just another way you can push people toward your like asset and make sure they actually are aware and that they have all the information to buy on drop day, right? So we talked about this, and this. Now let's talk about how to set up the event, right? So it is very, very important that people know the exact date and time when you drop, because if not, like there's no hype and people will not like, they won't convert as high as if like there's a whole movement behind what you're dropping. So this is an Instagram post I grabbed from one of our clients, and this is one of his captions on Instagram during the time that we like basically teased the drop and made sure people were aware of the exact drop day and drop time in their specific time zone. And this bit right here, the time conversion, is very important. All right, so I'm going to show you how you can pick the perfect time for your drop. And it is gonna depend obviously on where your main audience is, right? So just go to analytics and then you can just scroll down until you see sessions by location. This is a store that's currently closed. They're about to drop a new product. We're just gonna do the product drop. We're pushing all of the traffic to the opt-in page, or like the kind of lander I showed you how to build earlier. And now I'm gonna figure out exactly what's the best time to drop, right? So for them, most of their sessions, I would say like 90% plus come from the US, but for your store, it might be like United States, a little bit India, a little bit like United Kingdom. It might be like a mix of everything. And so having the the session by country and then broken down by like state or whatever is it's not useful at all, because you want to see by country so you can figure out what time zone people are in, and that way you can figure out the perfect job time. So the way you do that and the way you tweak this chart is by clicking on this arrow right here, and then after that you just delete this specific string or like whatever you want to call it, and then you just run the report, and then you're going to have the sessions by country and only that, right? No state, no nothing. And right now this store is like mainly in the US. So like the sessions mainly come from the US. As I said, like 90% of it, but for you it might be more mixed. And let me actually not even save this, right? Because now I know for this store it's mainly sessions from the US. I'm just going to discard that, go back to the previous one, and then I'm going to export this specific report, right? So I'm just going to export it, let it sit for a second, and then all right, maybe I should pick like a broader time frame, right? So I'll just do it again, export, here we go. And then I'm just going to go to ChatGPT and just ask him, right? People from my store are from the US. This is a prompt I already created like for this store before recording this video, but you would just tweak the prompt so it makes sense for you, obviously. And then you just take the file that you downloaded from Shopify, you just drop it in here, and then ChatGPT is going to do the whole analysis of where people are on the map and what time zone you should optimize for. So let it load for a second. And while it analyzes the file, I'm just going to let you know, right? If a lot of your traffic comes from India or from a country that you know have low purchasing power or who are not likely to convert for your store specifically, then we're not going to optimize for these countries, right? All right, so first of all, the best drop time would be at a time where all of these guys are awake and ready to make a purchase. So I would say you should optimize for Eastern time first, and then like figure out if the time works for the other guys too. But yeah, for Eastern time, I would say to optimize for them, I would say you should drop no later than like 2 p.m. or something, or like a time zone like that, or a time like that. Because basically when you drop the product, first of all, you're going to send them like a teaser in the morning. So like, be careful, drops in 4 hours, stay ready. So you want that time to like tease the people still, but also you don't want to drop too late. So for example, something like 8 p.m. to where when you drop the actual product, you send them an email and then you can not send them anything later because they're asleep, for example. So you want to drop maybe around something like 1 p.m. So if you drop the product, you send them one email and then you can hammer them throughout the rest of the day with like emails, texts, etc. So yeah, I would say like 12 p.m. is great, but like what's 12 p.m. Eastern time in Pacific time? Let's figure that out. And as you can see, like 12 p.m. Eastern time is like 9 a.m. Pacific time. So yeah, I think it would be like great, especially if you do this on the weekend. So weekends are typically better from my experience, but it's something that's very hard to split test anyway. So, but yeah, 12 p.m. Eastern time is definitely a great time to drop the product for this store right here. Hopefully this was helpful for you. And so yeah, it's very important that people are aware of when you drop, because through them knowing the exact date and time of the drop, you're going to be able to leverage that for scarcity later, like for scarcity purposes, and to convince people that if they don't get the product at this exact time, whenever you're dropping, then somebody else will, and there won't be any stock left, right? So very important. Now, obviously, don't lie to people. That's not correct, especially if you want to build a brand and sell it later. But what I'm trying to say is, without scarcity, people, if you leave them to their own devices, then they default to not taking any action at all. So it's very important that you build scarcity. And one way you could do that is just lowering the stock that you put on the site in the first place, right? So right here, if you have a Facebook group, Instagram, Discord, like as I said, like this client, he uses Instagram a lot, but if you have like a Facebook group, any area where you can just collect traffic and easily deploy it wherever, then these are like all bonuses, and you need to give people the date and time of the drop over there too. So then creating competition, this one is huge, right? This is a direct complement of like what I said earlier about scarcity. This single thing will increase the performance of your job like so much if you just add this single point to whatever your checklist is before you actually drop a product. So scarcity, let's talk about it. Now, scarcity is a direct function of how high or low the demand is versus the quantity of resource you're offering. And this might sound like a little bit complicated. It's not. I'll even give you an example right now. It's going to be very straightforward. After that, you're going to understand straight away. So one of my clients, we were dropping a product for him and he had 300 units of one product and 200 units of another. So he was basically dropping both at the same time. And I wrote like some copy for him, and his question was, all right, should we really tell to people, or should we tell them that we have 500 units available? Because 500 seems like a lot and they won't move and they won't be incentivized to purchase right now if they feel like there's an abundance of product, right? It takes away from the scarcity. And that was his question. I told him like, no, 500 units is not a lot. It's completely relative on basically how competitive it is, right? If Nike was only selling 500 pairs of like one shoes, then obviously it would be like very competitive. So people need to know that other people want the product. And the way you can do that is telling people how many subscribers are opted in for the drop that you launch. So just tell them something along the line of like, all right, 2,000 people came to our site today and registered to get early access to the product that is dropping at, and insert the date right here, right? And give people the time conversions too. So if they know that we have 500 units and 13 people came for the drop, I meant 13,000 here, then obviously the product is scarce. It's only not scarce if there are 500 units available and you let people imagine themselves that 600 people want the drop. At that time, it's not scarce at all. So yeah, I had two examples right here. This is just example of what I just went over. I believe I explained it better here, so I just won't go over them. So all right, so now that we went over this point right here, let's talk about the massive constraint that might kill your drop performances before you even go live, right? We're still under the pre-drop checklist. So I'll show you what it is in practice in my email inbox, and then you'll see that how bad it is, right? So whenever you're going to send an email as a brand, you are either going to land in the promotion tab more often than not, right? That's where like 80% of brand land, or the primary. That might be better, right? You will get like a higher open rate. But if you land right here in spam, it will kill your performances. Right here, you see like it requires effort for people to see you. If I go back, more people will check their emails here. Going to spam, like nobody ever goes to spam. And that's why you'll get like 1%, 2%, 3% open rate. Nobody will see your content. Nobody will get pushed to your sales asset, like this trailer right here. Like nobody will see any of the content you send, including when you'll drop, right? All of these details people will miss out on, and it will genuinely like destroy your revenue. So make sure you don't land in spam. I'll include an entire video tutorial on how to avoid the spam inbox and make sure you stay out of it. But the gist of it is like maintain a great deliverability by reaching out to people who open your email consistently, click on the emails consistently, and just don't send to people who mark you as spam and who hoard bounces. So whenever you send them an email, make sure they actually receive it and that the email doesn't bounce. But also on top of that, you also need to implement some DNS records on your domain. So whether you bought it from GoDaddy, Namecheap, Shopify, you need to collect these pieces of code that I'll add probably on the screen, or if you check the video that I referenced earlier, you will definitely find them. You need to add these codes into your domain. So definitely add them because it will keep you out of spam if you implement them properly and if you email people that are engaging with your emails. And then your drop will perform like way better. All right, so now let's talk about a couple things that you can implement right now in like a couple minutes that will increase your conversion rate on drop day by like a lot. It's just so worth it to implement, especially because it's just so fast, right? So I'll show you right now. This is the main picture I use on the product page of the product right now. And this is a very bland picture. Not only like product photography is not that good, but it's like no details, no copy on it. So just a quick thing that will increase your performances is just adding like a just dropped email. Like I'll show you a brand that does it right here. This is a product that not like just released. I believe it's been like a while now, but still they use like this tag right here, just launched. And I'm sure they split tested it. It wasn't here prior. This brand is like massive. I believe they were doing like $1 million a month or something like that. But yeah, adding this kind of tag just increases your conversion rate. Right here on the main product, quote unquote, of this store, I have like a bestseller tag. So if I go to this one, you'll see like bestseller. This is the type of tag that will add All right, so I'll just create the tag from here, create some text, and the text I'll add is just dropped, just like them. I'm not going to be too creative here. And then I'll just scale it by 5x and then just add it right here. So maybe I'll just make the product just a bit smaller, and this should be a good place, right? I'll layout here. You can do that in like whatever design tool you're using, like Canva works. What else? I hate Canva, but I mean, I guess it will do the job for that kind of thing. So I'll just get the color from the website. Here you go. Right here, the color, I'm gonna update it. And then this, I'm gonna make it the website's color. Just trying to make it so everything's congruent, right? Then fill, color, and then stroke. Perfect. Increase it. Maybe center. This is starting to look good. So I'll just grab this color and replace this like this. Okay, so this picture, you're actually going to download it right here, and then you're going to add it to your product page. This is going to be like straightforward. I don't think I need to go over it. You just go here, plus, and then you just drag the media that you just downloaded, right? This is very straightforward, but we're gonna move on to the next thing now. That is, let me actually show you. Here, look at this brand, right? On the product page, they tell you how many units they've sold in the last 11 hours or whatever, and then also how many people are viewing this product right now. So you can get a feel of how it's converting. And if in the email you tell people that, I don't know, you have 100 units available and they see 40 sold now, you know, it's like create scarcity. So we're going to do some variant of this. We're not going to say 40 units sold. We're going to say only 23 left in stock. And you can actually plug the actual number that you have in stock so you don't lie to people. So I'll show you how you can do that right now in Shopify. So yeah, let's just do it. We're going to need to edit the product page. Let's go to online store. And I'll even show you like the before and after of the product page so you see like the difference. Right here, that's not the product. Let's go over this one. Right, so yeah, this is the product page that we're going to use for the drop. Maybe I should zoom in for a second. And as you can see, like right now, it's just the title, the price, short description, quantity selector, add to cart. Nothing too complicated. We're going to add a stock count right here. So let me just delete that so we have more space. And here, this is just a document I have with all the codes to just make it easier for me. But right here, I'm just going to copy that. And maybe this code, I'm going to add it in the description. Or worst case scenario is going to be in my $0 to $1 million guide from email, right? So just download the guide in the description, should be there, and then you will have access to the code. So now I'm going to click on edit code and add this code to the website. So the actual banner or like the bullet that I was talking about shows up on the site. So you need to install it into snippets, create the snippet, and then the name of it, let me actually use the proper name. So I'll just do this, or like stock count. This is how it should be called. So I'll add it here, done, and then I'll copy this again. Right, top to bottom, perfect. And then here I just need to copy and paste that. We're gonna need to do a few edits later to make this like code match the design of our site. So we're gonna need a couple tweaks, but right now, like, I mean, it's good, right? So here we go, previous store. Right now, no edits have been made, right? I'm just gonna go to customize and add this specific line of code to our product page. So default product, right now it's gonna show on all product page, but I'm sure you can imagine how you can add this bullet that I'm gonna implement on like one specific product page and not the others. So at least if you're familiar with Shopify a little bit. So I'm gonna add a section. Now it's just gonna be custom liquid code. And here we go. So now I'm just gonna do this. All right, I think I added it in the wrong place. So I'm just gonna go back, scroll up. I'm just gonna add it straight from here, custom, liquid, and then here we go. Right, perfect. So now I just need to tweak the code a little bit, but as you can see, like insert your text here for when stock is between 51 and 10 units. So I'll just edit the code a little bit, and these are the lines that I'm referring to, right? So we're gonna go into Shopify, the code snippet, and now everything's gonna look very clean. So right here, edit code. How did I call it? Stock counter? Yeah, a stock count. And here, let's actually only do, this, right? Let's put it like this. So with the specific edit I just made, if you have more than 200 products available, if you have more than 200 units, then this is a text that's going to show, and otherwise it's just going to sort of show this. So I'm just going to not use the logic at all, and I'm going to put the same text twice. And now from there, you just need to check that it actually works. So I'll walk you through it right now. And you just need to go to products and then inventory and check that it's actually reflecting how much stock you got. So I'll put up the product page and have the inventory side by side so you can see updates in real time. All right, cool. So now the product page shows that we got 11 units left in stock. I'll just go here to products first and then inventory, and then I'll just update that manually so you can see that as soon as we do that, basically on the store, it will reflect. So that might take a couple seconds, honestly, but eventually it will, right? So I'll just refresh once, and okay, so actually it worked pretty fast. So only 97 units left in stock. You can obviously edit that text in the code. So if I updated it right here, or like right here, it would have made the relevant change. So only that was 97 units left in stock. You just need to add the right code, and then everything will reflect on your store. So that was these 2 points taken together. Now setting up bundle discount, you can have like some variant of the shrine theme. Let me actually show it to you. So something like that work really well. So having like a section like this, just get one for this product, it would be like one bottle. But yeah, just either get one bottle. Let me just deactivate their pop-up. Having something like this, right? Shop one bottle, shop two with the most popular tag in the compare price, and then shop three, which is the best value. So yeah, having something like that helps a lot. I'm just not going to show you how to set it up because it would drag the video on for too long. All right, so the next thing I wanted to make you aware of is I run email marketing services for e-commerce brand, if you weren't aware of. So if you're running a brand, here's like actually an example of like a product drop we did earlier. I showed it to you at the beginning of the video, but I just want to make this extremely clear with you, right? This account I've been in for maybe 25 days at the time I recorded this video. So now I've taken that screenshot. Let me actually see. It was like a few days ago already, but check this out. All of these campaigns, I personally only sent the one in yellow because I've only been in the account for like 25 days. But as you can see, this is his like 6 out of the campaigns we sent during the last 25 days made it to the all-time best performing campaigns in this specific account. So as you can see, the campaigns in yellow are all ours, me and my team. And this one did $7,000 May 4th, so like 5 days ago now. Then another one, top 3 in his account, $6,000. And check the dates, right? But all sent in the last 25 days. $5,000, $4,900. And check the date also of this one. Black Friday, November 29th. This had a discount. Ours did not have any discount. So as you can see, we discounted less. We haven't sent a discount to this list. And we converted higher. So truthfully, if you want to skip like all of the learning curve, because they're great marketers, like they're making like 500K a month. And we're now representing like almost 30% of their revenue just because we started. We're going to scale them up even higher. But they're great marketers, and still our emails are performing way better than their emails. Obviously, like their Black Friday numbers we're destroying with our standard emails. So yeah, this was a quick point, but if you run an e-commerce brand, definitely book a call with me and I'll see if I can even work with you. Maybe it doesn't make sense, but if it does, we're going to crush it for you. So this was it. Just end of the pitch. Now, next thing is during the drop itself, how many campaigns do you need? So I'll actually show you. This is just an example of how many campaigns we set up for this client right here that we did a 7-day launch for. So the drop only lasted 7 days, and we created all these campaigns. These are blanks, but I just wanted to show you like the amount of campaigns we created. So we created about 50 emails, and we only sent like way less than that. Really, realistically, I think we sent and set it up 30 in his account. So only what is that? 60% of that 50. And it's better to come up with more compared to not having enough, because when you're going to be dropping the product, your main concern and the main activity is just staying in the account and changing the targeting depending on how your list is converting. So let's say that you send one campaign, it performs amazing, the open rate is amazing, like very, very high, click-through rate, same thing, place order rate, same thing. Send the campaign to more people, expand the targeting. If you were targeting the 30-day engaged before, send to the 45-day engaged. Now the 90-day engaged. Don't hit the same people, but just expand how many people actually end up receiving the campaign. Now, if it's the opposite, if the open rate is too low and maybe you get a 10% open rate, which is terrible. If you send too many campaigns with a 10% open rate, you're going to land up in spam. So if that happens, you need to change the targeting this time and target people who engaged on your email more recently, clicked on them more, placed an order, and who are loyal fans of your brand. And you need to do that in real time. And for the drop day, I mean, I can show you this other client, for example, that I just keep bringing up. But May 4th, we sent like an additional 2 campaigns on May 4th that did amazing for him. But all day, pretty much, you're going to be in the account sending campaigns. And so you don't want to get distracted and not having enough campaigns, because otherwise you're going to have to write more copy, design more emails, and just prepare them and not do what is the main revenue driver, which is actually sending the campaigns. So how many campaigns do you need? It's really hard to tell, but for drop day, I would not go any lower than, I would say 4 is the bare minimum I would prepare. And yeah, just have 4 for drop day, and then from then on you can just adapt based on how your list is responsive. And now these are going to be your campaigns bucket, right? So one, if you're doing early access, you need to notify people when their early access is going to start. And yeah, just craft a bunch of emails for that. I would say, like, for the early access day, do not go any lower than 3 emails for that day or for that for that type of people. Then when you officially release the product, again, you need to go extremely hard on people and maybe hit them like a couple times, 3 times, 4 times, because your emails, if you set them up properly, are going to crush. And so you definitely want to be ready once again. And then after that, after you did both of these, what I would do and what I found works best is updating people on how fast your stock is moving. Just because prior you created the hype, right? You told them, all right, 5,000 people are interested in this drop. We only have 400 units. It's dropping at this time. People, by the time you drop, are going to be ready to purchase. And if you send them updates like this, and if you tell them, all right, stock is moving, if you don't order now, you will miss out on the stock or on the product, then it just converts all the time, always. Like, I haven't found one instance where it just doesn't work. So do it, right? Okay, so really quickly, I'm going to show you how you can create one email for your product drop and also one MMS that we're going to send to the list. So you're really going to have both. And I'm going to walk you through how I do one live step by step. So I'm going to start with the email. And as I always do with the emails, I have many tutorials on this channel on how you can create an email. But the starting point is adding a frame. So you click on F and then you just drag your mouse across the screen to create the frame. So I'll just zoom in for a second because I need you to see these numbers on the right. You put the width of the frame as 1200. So I'm just going to drag it here. And then right now I'm just going to create a rectangle, put it right here. This is going to be the perfect size. And then the color of that rectangle, I'm just going to change it here. I have many email design tutorials, so I highly recommend you check one of them out. I have like many, so I believe I have a total of 4. So definitely check all of them out. You're going to be a way better designer once you're done consuming that information. But yeah, let me just keep going. I'm just going to go as fast as possible on all. So now I'm just going to scale it down, drag it here, and you can use whatever design platform suits you best. I personally just hate Canva. It's just so slow when it comes to email design, because with Figma, you can just, let's say you have this block ready, you can just drag and drop it into another email design that you want. So as soon as you create the asset, Figma is just 10 times easier. Like, one, it's easier to use once you get a hang of it, and then it's way faster once you have built the asset that you want to continuously use for your brand. So yeah, this is it. Then the picture of the product, it's just a picture of the product, so I'll just drag it right here. And then this button is just a shop now. I'll just drag the text below, say shop now. Let me actually shop now. I'm just gonna do it like this. It's not gonna be one-to-one, but still. Then I'm gonna drag a rectangle behind. Let me put it in the back. Do this like this, right? I'm just gonna create the button. And so now I'm just gonna scale that down, add it into the frame. I'll zoom in so you can see. But the gray of the rectangle, I'm just gonna replace it by this purple color. Increase it like this. And then I'm just gonna round the corner. So the corner radius here is like 16. I'm just gonna do the same, right? 16, perfect. So this is not the same font. I can just change it to Enter Black. I mean, yeah, let me just do this if you care that much. Enter Black. Here we go. Now it's the same. Make the button big because you want people to easily be able to spot it, right? And then we're going to do add some text, right? Only 25 left, 127 sold today. This is a very effective line. Take inspiration from it. 25 left. Don't copy it, please. Don't copy it. 127 sold today. Right. Italic. This looks a bit weird. It's just too bulky. So I'm just going to do this. Center it. Make it smaller. Right underneath the button. This is perfect. So make it slightly bolder. And then here I just need to be consistent with the colors, right? See, if I use this one, let's just continue. So now I just want to drag a rectangle just behind this product, send it to the background, and then change the color to this, right? Now, if you notice, I don't know if you can clearly see that, but there's a shadow behind the bottle, and right now there's none. So I'm just gonna do an ellipse right here like this, and then send it right behind the bottle. Change the color to this. Make it, like, add an effect on top of it. Just make it blurry. This is perfect. And then I'm gonna lower the opacity. This is great. This is great. Fantastic work. So yeah, let's just drag it down. 70. Let's make it darker. I don't know how it looks like. Let me just put it like this. I think it's just too dark now. Right, so let's just do 50%. I think this looks like all right. Could look better, but I mean, it's just you tweaking. It just doesn't matter that much. I just want to show you the principle. You just tweak it until it looks good to you. Anyway, now we need to like start building this section out, and then here I'm just gonna straight up copy the colors I've used because I don't have the energy to like go over like how did I pick the colors, etc. But essentially you just pick this radial effect right here, and then after that you just put it like this, right? Okay, this is the center of the effect, and then this is how you do it, right? Obviously the light section right behind the bottle, and then after that you can just do it like this. This should look perfect. Now you just need to update the color. Now this is the one I used in the middle, and then after that I used that one, right? So just update the color depending on what's relevant for your brand, but this is the general concept, right? So maybe you can do it like this. Let's see. It's not, doesn't look like exactly similar, but yeah, you get the idea. You just do a gradient like this, and typically it just looks way better than just using a static color like this one. This is okay for the bottom section, but for the top section, I typically like something that is a little bit more Yeah, a little bit more aesthetic, looks better. So yeah, now you just need to add your logo. I won't show you how you can add the logo, but yeah, you just drag and drop an image on top of your frame, and then after that is just this 2 bits or text. So just add some text. I'm just gonna click on the T shortcut right here, just add some text. I don't know where, I don't even know, I think it's here, right? So click on it and then boom, better hurry, exclamation mark. I don't even know what font that is. Let's just do that one. All right, not that one. Instrument sans. All right. Italic. Scale it down to like 70%. Center it, and then use the relevant colors. That's looking clean. Let's make it even smaller. Cool. And then let's add a headline. I won't even show you how to do the headline, man. It's just text. It's just text. So now you just drag it up, and then this section right here, you might actually not know how to do it, so I'll show you right now. So you just drag a rectangle like this, like so, and actually I'm gonna make it bigger. I'm gonna create this first, right? So I'm just gonna center it and drag it up a little bit, and then after that I'm just gonna, all right, let me just put it like this. Let's do no fill, just a stroke. So you're gonna have this white like contour or whatever you want to call it, like this stroke. That's literally the name for it. But yeah, I want to put it as center, and then I'm gonna increase the corner radius by as much as I can, really. And then after that, boom, you're gonna have like your health bar type of asset. So I'm gonna do the exact same this time, but it's not gonna be a stroke, it's just gonna be a fill, and the fill is gonna be this color that we've used so far in the design. And then I'm just gonna, let me actually, all right, cool, I didn't even duplicate the thing. Anyway, let me actually go back and show you, because I actually made a mistake. I hit the wrong key on my keyboard. I'm gonna duplicate it. So you hit Control D, and as you can see, like on the left, you're gonna have like this item duplicated. And so now you have two different iteration of that item. And the second one that we just created, we're not going to use the stroke, we're going to add a fill, and we're going to add this color to it. And now you fill it by like 80%. You can even do this, right? Let me show you a cool trick. This is the total width. You multiply it by 0.8, and then after that, boom, it's gonna automatically show 80% of that width. So this is a pretty cool trick. I was like, whoa, this is crazy when I learned about it. And so I'm gonna add some text. 80% gone, 80% gone. Here you go. And then you can also add emojis. So let me add this one because it's pretty telling. And then here we go. Now I'm gonna make that piece of text white, just because it shines, like it makes a better contrast with the background. All right, so now the issue is you cannot, like, it's not very reader friendly. It's like very hard to read, especially like the mobile users. They'll have some trouble reading that text. So what I'll do is I'll duplicate it once again. So we have two iterations of that text, and then I'm going to basically add like a shadow to it so it's easier to read. So let me actually make this text what color. Let's use this one, right, for the shadow. I think it's gonna be like on brand pretty much. And then after that, I'm gonna blur it, right? So here we go. This looks great. This looks amazing. If there's still not enough like shadow to make it easy to read, you can also like just duplicate the shadow and make it like really like very easily readable, that piece of text. So I'm not gonna do that obviously because it would look terrible, but just a couple iteration and maybe a slightly lower opacity would help a lot. So I think this is on point pretty much right now. So yeah, now it's easier to read, and this email has been duplicated. Now you can be like, all right, this is a very simple email, Christoph. Like, isn't that like not good enough to convert, or like will it actually convert? And the answer is As I said before, the conversions depend on what you send before the job, not what you send on job day. 90% of the conversions you acquire or like you secure when you redirect people to the asset, when you create a really good email before you actually go live with the actual job, right? When you release the product, people should already know that they want to convert. But these type of email or like the last push that people need before they actually end up buying. So we had another product launched yesterday and made $21,000. I'm going to show you the exact tactic we used to do that, because really, if you look at this session graph, all of these two spikes, both of them came from SMS marketing. And then look at how they converted, like $7.4 thousand, $5.9 thousand. And we're actually going to send a few more today, because as you can see, like you can't hammer people like continuously with SMS marketing. You got to be careful. But I'm going to show you the exact framework I used to do just that. Now I'm going to show you how you can duplicate that SMS right here. So what I'll do is I'll duplicate that email right here. And then let's just delete all of this text, right, that we just created together. And we're going to use the rest as an asset to build the SMS. So this right here, I'm just going to drag it up. Perfect. I'm going to delete the button and the rectangle. Perfect. So here we go. We have like a strong basis. If we compare both side by side, you're going to see like it's already starting to look pretty similar. So now let's use even the shadow of the bottle. Let's do it like this, right? Let me actually see if it has like the same size. Yeah, it looks like it's pretty similar. Anyway, now I'm going to do this. And this text right here, I'm just going to do this, all right? Text live now. And this is like the font that I'm using. Poppins, black, 191 like pixel. You don't need to use the exact same settings or the same font, but this is just in case you wanted to know. So live now, this is the color that I want to be using for this brand. And so if you look at it, there's like a slight gradient. Not like, check out the color like picker. It changes slightly. So what I'm going to do is just make this like this, for example. Instead of just straight like dark purple, I'm going to use this. All right. This is going to make a cool effect. So I kind of like it. I'm going to now duplicate this text and make it like just virtually the same as this, right? So live now, live now, live now. I'm going to even out the spacing between like each piece of text. Nice, it looks good. This I'm going to make it show up behind the bottle. I don't know what happened with this one. This is good. And then the last one, live now, live now, live now. All right, it's here. Perfect. Not yet. All right, cool. Looks great. So now let's just do this. And then here, the bottle looks like slapped on top of the text. We don't want that. This looks like way better. So I'm going to do this. First off, I'm just going to make the gradient show up. So 70% opacity. Maybe here I'm going to put 40. And then here I'm going to put 10. This looks great. Maybe here I'm going to do 60. 3. And then 1. Or like 05. Looks even better. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Now I'm going to pick this bottle, duplicate it, and like add some like something to differentiate the background versus the bottle. As you can see, like this one, it has like I don't know if you can see it even, but it has this like halo or this cool effect that I kind of like. So I'm just gonna do it right here. I'm just gonna grab this picture. Actually, no, I'm just gonna use that one. Control G. All right, so I'm gonna ungroup it, and then right here I'm gonna add a straight rectangle. Boom, right here. I'm just gonna mask these two items right here, and then I'm gonna create a mask so it has this shape. And here now I'm gonna select this entire mask group and add an effect right here. So layer, and then here you're just gonna increase it. And so here's how it will look like in practice, or the reason I even added it in the first place. Right here, I'm just gonna center the ball and make sure everything's cool. But yeah, I'm just gonna send to the back and then make the opacity like 40%, maybe 70%. Increase the blur maybe until it looks like exactly how I wanted. Like this is starting to look perfect. I really like that. So yeah, now I have this picture. What I'll do is I'll create two versions of it, and then I'll create a GIF to make it look really good. So I'll just do this. I'll just group every piece of text that I added, and then make it like 40% or like 30% opacity. Or yeah, this is gonna be fine. So yeah, now I'm gonna export both of these, and then I'm going to create the GIF in Premiere Pro. All right, so I'm in Premiere Pro now. This is a blank timeline. I just imported two of the file that we downloaded together. So maybe I should just remove them and show you how I import them. But essentially, you just go to wherever you store your files, right? Documents or whatever, and then you just drag and drop them here, right? So I'll just do this right in front of you and then start with the GIF. So as I said, blank timeline. I'm just gonna drag both right here, right? And so I have the one that is low opacity as far as like the text goes, and the other one which is like text was like 100% opacity and like you can see the text clearer, right? So what I like to do is go forward 15 frames, so 5, 5, 5, and then I'll just crop out all of the rest because this is long, right? If I let it play, right? Let me actually show you. I'll let it play. This is a good 5 seconds until the other bit shows up, and so we have to make it so it makes sense, right? So 5, 5, 5. This is 15 frames. I'll just cut out the rest, right? And then kind of something similar for the other one. I'll just let it, this portion runs for longer. So I'll just do 25 maybe. So 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. 5 times 5 is 25. And then I'll cut out the rest. All right. So now it should look good when I do export it. I'm just going to export it now and then rename it like, I don't know, demo GIF. Perfect. And so now, right, it already exists. I'll just replace it, right? Because I probably don't need the other one. So replace it. This, you need to select animated GIF. Like I have a few presets. I also have like a bunch of other options. I always go for animated GIFs, sorry. And then video, you can either increase the quality if this preview doesn't look like clean enough, or you can lower the quality. Typically you do that if the GIF is too heavy. So me, I like that quality a lot. It might be too much actually. So I'm just gonna make it smaller. This is gonna look good. Let me actually do this. So yeah, this is gonna look good. Demo GIF 2 maybe. And then here we go. I'm just gonna export it. It's gonna take like 2 seconds. And then I'm gonna show you how it looks like, right? So here you go. Now I got it into my downloaded files. I'll just drag it here. Actually, maybe I should do this. All right, so here you go. I'm just gonna click on it and then preview it. And this looks incredible. I really like it. So now it's 618 kilobytes. Klaviyo, I believe, only accept GIFs that are like below 500. So what we're gonna do is straight away, we're gonna go to a site where we can compress it. All right, so typically this is a website I use to compress GIFs. You can use any other one as long as it does the job, right? So I'll just go back to the file we created together, or like the GIFs. And here we go. It's just gonna take a second to load after I click on compress GIF. And as soon as it's ready, just download it and push it to Klaviyo. All right, so the GIF is now 78% lighter. I'm just gonna click on download and it's gonna start the download process. Okay, so now that we have the GIF ready, we just need to take care of the SMS copy. And the way I do that typically is just going back to the offer I promised to people, and I always make that the first SMS I send to people. So we could do something like this. You waited for it, and it's finally here. As promised, going back to the previous offer, here's your early access link. But because people have early access, you don't want to make them feel like they can take forever to order. So typically I always follow that up with some kind of scarcity. So don't miss out. We only made the amount of bottles you produced, right? So we only made 275 bottles. Try to make it specific, like 200 bottles is like, yeah, I don't know. Try and make it specific. So 275 bottles, there won't be enough for everybody. And then here you add your links, right? Here I'm going to assume the website is not password protected, but right underneath this link that you would add, it would be a good time to add your password to the website. All right, password right here. And then try and make the password with just one word. Don't make it too long, and try to make it like easy to remember. So I don't know, for this one, I would use something like easy to spell too. So what could be the password of the website? I don't know. Creatine or blueberry, something like that. Something that's easy to spell too. Blueberries are like two R's. So again, like you don't want to overthink it, but definitely just pick something that's easy. Glow would be great. GLOW, very easy, simple. So again, this would be the SMS. Me, I'm just gonna delete that part because I don't need it. But yeah, here we go. We have the SMS, the GIF, and now I'll show you how you can set that up in Klaviyo. You're just gonna go to campaigns if you want to send that SMS. Create campaign, and then here you select SMS. The name doesn't matter here, but I'll just call it early access so I know exactly what I'm dealing with. Early access, and I'm gonna tag it SMS still because I want to know. But yeah, continue, and then here you just select the audience, one of the audience we created together, and here I'm just gonna pick all SMS subscribers. Continue. And then after that, you just input your copy. Now be careful, because sometimes when you copy and paste something from external platform, all of these special characters like these, like the exclamation mark or like this dash right here, sometimes they get messed up. So if you have time, definitely do not copy this. Do not copy this and paste it here straight away. Type it instead, like if you have time. But for me, just for simplicity's sake, and because you're watching this video, I don't want to waste your time. I'm not going to type it out, but I definitely would if it was for a client. So here you just add your links. This I would definitely push straight to the product page, because this is one singular product. If this is a new collection you're dealing with and you're not too sure what the best seller will be, then definitely push to a collection page. So this is the rationale behind everything. Now we need to add the GIF. So here you just click here, add image, upload image, select image. And me, I'm just going to drag and drop the one I already got. So I'm just going to select it real quick, and then boom. Okay, that's not the one. Let me go back. This is the one we compressed. Right? So let it load. And it looks very good. So now I'm going to send myself a test, check out how it looks like on my phone. And then here I would also check that the links are working. You definitely don't want to waste your time and money sending an SMS that has a broken link. So let me just go to retain with emails.store and just pick the exact link that I need. So shop now. Okay, that's not the one. This is the one. All right, cool. So I'm just going to grab this link. Make sure it's shortened. So this counts like I don't know how many characters there are, but this definitely counts toward your character limit. So you always want to make sure you have this option like selected, because otherwise your SMS will be like way more expensive than it needs to be, right? So right now it looks clean. Also, one thing I haven't touched on is I always like to add, one extra bit of space between like the text to stop and the last sentence of my email copy, because otherwise like it looks unprofessional, I guess. Here, this doesn't look too clean, but like this, it looks way better. So yeah, I'm just going to send myself a test, verify that everything's working, that the GIF is loading properly, that this is clickable and goes to the right product page, and that there are no like, I told you before, but this dash, sometimes it gets messed up when I copy and paste it from Figma or from Google Doc directly. This exclamation mark too. There are some other pieces, other stuff that could get messed up, but I guess it's more like relevant to your brand specifically. So I'm just going to input my number here, just pause this video, send myself a test and check that everything's working. All right, so I just checked everything. everything is cool. It's ready to get sent. So now I'm just going to click on next, schedule it to whenever I want to give early access to people. So May 11th, I don't know, maybe I want to give it at like 4 p.m. Eastern time, which is like in a few hours from now. So actually I'm going to select it from here, 4 p.m. Eastern time, and then you would schedule the campaign. So that is one. Now for the next one, customer retargeting for new product. This one's huge, right? So if people go to check out with the product that you just dropped, you should not send them regular abandoned checkouts, right? It should be specifically designed, and by that I mean this retargeting should be specifically designed to convert people on the new drop and on the product they're specifically interested in. So do not be generic. Here, you just need to go to Klaviyo. Actually, I'm going to show you how to do that. You go to Klaviyo right here. I have an example of a flow, and this is a standard abandoned checkout. So yours might look like this. This is my demo account, so obviously it's not getting traffic. But right now, I'm just going to drag a trigger split so I can show you exactly what I'm talking about by having custom retargeting for the product drop. And so right here, this is a trigger split, and every single person who has this item that I'm going to configure right now, let's say they have this marketing book in their cart, right? I'm going to save the split. If they have the marketing book in their cart, they're just going to go to the yes pass. And if they don't, they're going to go to the no pass. So right now, if the marketing book is the new product that you're dropping, I would say that I would just put it like this, configure it like this. Item does not, items, so meaning the items that they have when they go to checkout, do not contain the marketing book. So meaning if they don't have the product that you just dropped, they're going to go to the regular abandoned checkout. And if they do have the marketing book in their cart, and if they have the new product that you just dropped, you're going to send them to the new pass that you create specifically for the drop. And so you need that a lot of the time for the abandoned checkout, because this is going to pick up a ton of traffic, and also for the browse abandonment. So if you're not familiar with what a browse abandonment is, it's a flow that you send to people whenever they go to the product page and then leave without adding an item to cart, and by consequence of that, without purchasing. So and the reason I'm saying for the browse abandonment specifically is because whenever you're going to do the product drop, a lot of the time you're going to redirect people to the product page. And so that's why you need custom retargeting for abandoned checkout and also for the browse abandonment. All right, so now next thing, creating segment of people you'll target, because as I said, like for the drop, you're going to go to your campaign, and here you need to pick specific targeting for your campaign. So let me actually show you a demo, because I'm only targeting the newsletter as an example, but let's say for your campaign, you want to target people who, this specific segment of people, then people who are subscribed to SMS. Like you want to have all of these segments ready, because as I said before, when you're going to do the product drop, you're going to be inside of the account sending like 4, 5, 6 campaigns per day sometimes. And so you don't want to wait until the last minute to create the segments, because it will waste your time. So these are the segments I find to be the most profitable. So I see people who subscribe to the waitlist. You need to hit them. So here you just go to create segment, and we created the form before, like together. So I'm going to show you exactly how you can basically just find them where they are, right? So here I'm just going to open our mobile lander and our desktop lander, and I'm going to grab this code right here, which is the form idea. So I'm just going to grab the code and say like subscribe to the waitlist in the last 30 days. So 30-day waitlist subscriber. And what someone has done, submitted form submitted by profile at least once in the last 30 days. That's cool. And then I'll need to tell Klaviyo what form ID I'm talking about. So equal this one, which is a mobile one, right? So this is it. Then I'm just going to duplicate that and put the desktop ID too. So here we go. Now nobody submitted that form, so that's why it's not like getting any like subscriber right now. But actually the desktop might, because I submitted it once with you, right? But yeah, create a segment, and then you have all of your waitlist subscribers on that segment. And then you can also like create 30-day. We have the version for like 30 days. You can also create it for like 45 days, 60 days, 90 days. And obviously, if you send to that segment, you're going to have a higher conversion rate than if you send to the 90-day wait list subscribers. But really, email marketing and SMS marketing are so profitable that you shouldn't really look at the conversion rate. You should look at the absolute revenue that you get, because the cost is virtually like inexistent. Maybe SMS is like more expensive, but for sure that's the case with email, right? Just look at the revenue. That's just all that matters. Now, the second one, US SMS list subscribers. Because if you go to Klaviyo, credit, here you go, right? So if you go to this page, it will show you exactly how much you get charged for every single phone number that you contact in Klaviyo. So for, let's say you send a regular SMS to a United States phone number, it'll cost you 1 credit. If you send it to a German phone number, it'll cost you 12. And if you send to someone in Australia, this is almost a meme, but let me actually show you. Australia, I can't even see it. Yeah, here. It's like ridiculously expensive to send a MMS over there. And MMS are like so high converting. So yeah, US phone numbers are the absolute priority. If you're running SMS marketing and your main audience is the US, it's like so much better than if your main audience is in like Germany or the Netherlands, for example. It's just unnecessarily like way more expensive. Well, unnecessarily, I don't know, but maybe they have their reason. They probably do, to be honest. So anyway, now you just need to just find these US subscribers that you have. And nowadays, Klaviyo makes it even easier on you, right? So whenever you're going to send an SMS, actually, I'm going to pause this video and show you how it looks like. Yeah, so I just logged into one of the accounts I run, and I can show you, right? When you add all of your SMS subscribers to the targeting, Klaviyo even shows you the subscribers by country, and you can just turn them off right here. And this is useful, for example, if you don't want to send to Germany, like it's very easy to turn them off. Prior, you had to create the segment, but I still do create the segment because sometimes I want to have like the perfect combination already prepared for the job. And so whenever I'm just sending the campaigns, I don't have to worry about, all right, who do I pick? Who do I combine? Who do I target for this campaign in particular? So I highly recommend you create the segments anyway. At least it's useful to me, so that's why I share it on this video, right? So US SMS subscribers is an amazing segment to have in place. All right, so now next one, this one's very important. It's actively engaging with the job. This is once again the name of the segment. But really, when you are going to do a product drop, let me zoom in for a second. But whenever you're going to do a product drop, you're going to go hard on volume. So maybe you're going to send like 4 campaigns a day, 5 campaigns a day, 6 campaigns a day, something like that. And some people are going to click on the links, open all of the emails, etc. And these people are going to be the people who are the most likely to purchase. And so let's say that you want to send an SMS and you don't want to send to the entire list because, again, SMS can be expensive sometimes. What you're going to do to like slightly cut down on costs and still maximize revenue is to send to that segment of people who is actively engaging with the job. So I'm going to show you how to create it. And here we go. So we're just going to copy the name. I don't want to type it out. So copy, paste. And so what someone has done, we're going to select every single person who opened, clicked, maybe not purchase. You don't want to hammer them because you're going to have an upsell sequence specifically for the people who purchase. But we're going to do every single person who opened, who clicked, and who submitted a form, because a form means like they got on the wait list. So even added to cart, went to checkout with your product. Like you can go very deep with that, but the start of it all is like opened. You can say campaigns, but I'm going to do open because most of the campaigns we're going to send during that time period are like product drop related. So I'm just not even going to filter by targeting, but I'm going to say opened after, and then here you select the date where you dropped, right? Or even when you start sending the first teasers. So if they clicked on the teaser, obviously they're interested in their product. So let's say I dropped on March 4th and I started teasing the job on April 28th. I'm just going to select that. And every single person who clicked on an email related to the product job, or like who opened an email related to the product job, is going to fall under that segment. Now I'm going to do the same with like clicked. What someone has done, clicked email at least once after, and then here you select the same day. I'm just not going to do it because like it's pretty straightforward once you know how to do this one. And then after that, I'm going to do what someone has done, added to cart. here, at least once in the last, since you dropped, and product equal the new product that you just dropped. So here I don't even have the dimension because I don't have like any add to course on this account, but you can do that on any other account. And then you go to add to reach checkout. So checkout started at least once after your drop date. And you don't even have to precise that here. You can do over all time because the product is like pretty new. So at least once over all time. And then filter by items, include any of the list, and then here you just select whatever product you just dropped. And so every single person who opened any of your content, email teasers, emails for their job, who clicked on them, who added to core, went to checkout, they're all going to fall under that segment. And then after that, these are the guys that you're just going to hammer to get them to convert, right? Now, out of the segments we created, some of these guys have already converted, but it's not an issue because whenever you create your campaign, you can always exclude people who placed an order recently, right? Placed order at least once in the last, let's say, 10 days. You want to exclude all of them. And then you just do this 10-day buyers. And then this segment of people, you exclude them whenever you build the campaign, right? So this is not an issue at all. Now, obviously, every single brand is special, so you will kind of need to iterate on the system, make it like specific to your brand, etc. And that's where I come in and do it for you, right? But if you want to do it on your own, right, genuinely ask yourself, if you are an e-commerce brand, can you or any member of your team, one, learn everything I've just shared, dedicate its time to it, and just make sure that system is running properly for you, especially if they have no experience. That's going to be a little bit tough because like I even shared an example of like a client with you, but they're making 500K a month. Like they don't have that person on their team. So that's why they brought me in, and instantly, pretty much within like 25 days, as I told you, like we are able to beat his previous campaigns that were sent on Black Friday. We're not even sending a discount. So I believe you're missing out if you don't even book a call to speak with me to figure out if I can even help you scale like I helped this person scale. So yeah, definitely book a call with me, and I'll talk to you soon.